Hi, everybody. Welcome back to my channel. My name is Stassi. Thank you so much for being here today. I am so excited. I have first-time guest here, Lara Red. We just spent the last 15 minutes getting to know each other, and I'm really excited for this interview. So, Lara, thank you so much for being here today.
Thank you, and hello, everyone.
Lara, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
Okay, so to everyone who's seen me before around on Patreon and stuff, and everybody new, my name is Lara Red. I'm 26. I'm based in Bedfordshire, and I also go by the name Psylocke because I'm a little bit of a Marvel fan. I've been playing Sims 4 ever since it came out for free, I'll say, since went free. And I've dipped my toes into the custom content side of it, but I mostly do the gameplay and story play. And I'm currently not writing, sorry, making I'm currently doing a video review on one of my stories, which is still in progress now. So
Oh,
the first part of it's already on my YouTube channel, and I'm working on the second part.
oh my goodness,
I'm
that's
super excited
totally
to get it done.
that's incredible. Um, you touched on something that I'm really excited to talk about because as a lifetime Sims player, I've been playing The Sims for 22 years.
Mhm.
That's a long time
Yeah,
to
it's a
do
long time
something
actually.
consecutively.
Yeah.
Um, but you're a new Sims player, and this is something that I've always been really excited about. Once the base game became free, was
Mm.
more people around the world were able to play this game.
Yeah.
Um, and you had said before that you start watching Let's Plays back in
Yeah.
2016. So
Yeah.
how did
Lots
it
of let's plays.
feel that moment that you could just play The Sims 4 on your computer?
You know that one time when you're a kid, you finally get that toy you've been eyeing up for years. That kind of euphoria.
Mhm.
That's kind of how I felt when I was installing it. I had issues installing it because Steam hated my PC. But
Yes.
once I was able to get in the game, I could put one character in the house, I get him to eat, sleep, go to work. It was like a mom, I made it kind of moment because I'd been watching all those Let's Plays for so many years and seen all these little stories, the packs and stuff like that. I really wanted to dip my toes in. I like to see what the hype is about things sometimes if I'm able to. So to be able to get to get creative basically without having to pay for the base game, it was it was actually I felt the same euphoria I felt when I got an A plus on my exam, and that was a moment. So yeah, I'm not sure if I can find enough words for it.
No, that's perfect.
Yeah.
I love that. I kind of had not the same emotion. So before it was free,
Mm,
it used to be in Origins. So this like
yeah.
we're talking years ago.
Sorry,
So
excuse me.
that's okay. It was like 2019 when I downloaded The Sims 4 for the first time.
Yeah,
And it used to go on sale for $5.
yeah. I
And
remember those
I
because I thought, oh, someday, someday.
Someday, right? And I remember it was
Yeah.
like an extra $1.79 at five for like the free downloadable content that came with it. So like
Yeah.
I know the feeling of like I was so excited when I was an adult on my computer, not a school
Yep.
computer, not
Yep.
a, like a parent's laptop, like it was my
Yep.
computer
Mm-hmm.
playing this. It brought me back to like my childhood of something that I really wanted, and I just fell in
Yeah.
love with this game because there's no other game out there in this entire, like, in my opinion, in the world that it's such a sandbox. You can
I agree,
literally do
actually. I
anything.
agree. I agree. I was thinking about that last week because I saw a lot of chat about Inzoi and stuff like that.
Hmm.
And I noticed that I tried to play the demo once. It works, but it doesn't that click. I couldn't feel it even in the character creation. I couldn't feel it even in a base game Sims. I had more fun picking the clothes, picking the eye colors. Yeah, I just haven't felt it in anything else. I just feel that Sims is unique in what it does, like literally everything, even down to its issues and flaws. I think it's unique.
Oh yes, and there are issues. Like they
No,
let's we're not going to beat around the bush in this podcast. Like
there are
there's
issues.
EA has a lot of bugs
There are
in their
issues. I'm
packs.
looking at you, residential rentals. Every time
Um
I go to play with them, oh, there's a bug.
yeah. Oh, look. My
Yeah,
dog is crawling upside down on the walls,
literally,
hanging on the
literally.
chandelier. That's normal. God, this was play
That's
tested.
normal. Ah. But it's a vibe. But that's why I think I enjoy it because even with all the issues, especially it sucks when it's game breaking. That hurts. But eventually, once it's all fixed, you can just go back to it, and then you kind of feel that kind of closeness to it. If that's in like a friend you've always had, like a plushie as well.
Exactly. I've always described Sims as everybody and listening to this, if you have that friend in your life that comes and goes, you don't
Yeah,
see each other every day. You might not even see each other for a year or two, but when you do,
yeah,
you pick it
yep,
up like you've never missed
yep.
a beat. And
Never
that
missed
t
anything. Yep.
is the Sims franchise in a nutshell.
Yes,
You can put down this
definitely.
game, pick it back up at any time,
Yep,
and you'll just pick up exactly where you left off.
yep. I love it. Mhm.
I honestly, that's why I love this game so,
Yep.
so, so much. Well, I'm really excited that you've gotten to expand on it. So something that I used to really wish for that's actually come true this year is because I'm a lifetime player and I played Sims 1 and Sims 2 when I was a baby, like I was like 10.
Mhm.
And
Yeah.
now going back as an adult, I really can appreciate it more. Now that you
Yeah.
have both Sims 1 and Sims 2 available, is that something that you would be interested in playing so you could experience the nostalgia of the
I've
early
kind
games in the franchise?
I've kind of thought about it. I thought about three multiple times.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be honest with you.
Yeah.
I considered trying to save for the mobile version of Sims 3. It didn't happen because by the time I got to it, it had left the store, which was
Yeah.
fine because my phone couldn't handle it at the time. But to play the franchise now, I've long considered it, but I've put it on the back burner for a little while because I try not to overwork myself because for me, it's very easy for the ideas to start flowing and I like nosedive into and I'm like, oh, oops, I've taken on too much. So maybe sometime, maybe I'll probably try them because they do look really funny to try.
Of course. I mean, I'll be super honest with you. If you're like, I want to go into franchise, anybody listening to this is going to have their own personal opinion of which is the best game in the franchise. A lot of people think Sims 3 is, a lot of people think Sims
Yeah,
1 is, a lot of people think Sims 2 is. But if you've never played any of the older games, I would recommend Sims 2. Like, it is
Sims 2.
such a
Okay.
fundamentally great game that still holds up to this day. It's like watching a
Yeah.
movie. It's like, okay, it's like watching the original Jurassic Park and being like, yeah, that still movie still holds up well.
Yeah,
Like,
yeah, yeah, I've got some films like that. I like that. Yeah.
right?
That's
So
interesting.
it's like
Yeah.
Sims 2 is held up really, really well. So
Mm.
when that game came out, it was two early 2000s. I don't, oh, I think it was like 2006 or 7. Like
Mhm.
at that point, like that's when the sandbox really opened up.
Yeah.
Because like in The Sims 1, like you had your pre-made Sims, you had pre-made outfits. Like that was it. But like
That was it. Yeah.
Sims 2, like that is when like I will always remember the day that I got to go into create a Sims and create the Sim that looked like me. And like it's just like you could change the hair color, you could change the eyes, you could change the clothes, you could
Yeah.
change the skin. So it's just kind of stuff that like that. It's really, really good. There's a lot of lore and the fact that all of the packs come with it. So like you can get the
Oh,
full
that's handy.
of all the expansions. So that's the
Yeah. Oh,
beauty
that's nice.
of these two games. Like you get to have the expansions. Something I didn't realize when I played The Sims 1 as a child is I didn't know there was expansion packs. I didn't
Yeah.
understand that that was a thing because I was 10 years old.
Yeah.
I didn't know what DLC was. Because back in 2003, there like you had to read the guidebook to
Yeah.
understand. There was no internet. There was no Google.
There were
Okay,
the
like
days, right?
you had to read and like you couldn't ask your friend unless they knew, right? So now like
Exactly.
it's like the world's their oyster. It's like anybody who starts playing The Sims and says they're like a new Sims player, but yet they're decked out in Alpha CC and like everything is
Yeah.
CC. You're like, Yeah, okay, like we ran on like no CC and like
Yeah,
before
literally.
before babies and hot tubs, so you could we ran so you could walk, right? So that's really kind of what The Sims 2 was. The Sims 1 is just pure chaos. It's an extremely
Mm,
hard game, even as an adult. Going
yeah.
back and you're like, how did I even play this? Like, it's
Yeah, I've
so
seen some
like
screenshots of some people on Blue Sky that I follow. So they're like, oh boy, they love the Sims 1, but they forgot how chaotic it was.
it's so chaotic. Everything's on fire. There's always a burglar. There's always a
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
always cockroaches or a flood
Oh boy.
you can't get to work because there's like a baby in the way. So like it was just like pure
Oh,
chaos. And then like
pure chaos.
even at like that time, like simoleons, they were hard to get. It's not like
Yeah.
now
Oh,
where it's like, oh, you worked a day, here's 1,500 simoleons. Back in Sims
yeah.
1, it was a fucking one simoleon and a penny and a wish. Like that's what you got, and you had to pay your bills. There was no wasting your simoleons. That's why
Yeah.
like using Rosebud, like that was your saving grace if you didn't actually want to
Mhm.
work. But no, I'm really excited that you've gotten to go. Do you have any expansion packs for The Sims 4?
Guilty confession, I have all of the expansion packs.
Love that.
The
Um,
only ones I don't have is the wedding stories and the dream decorator because it doesn't interest me sadly. Though I'm kind of sad Tartosa was kind of locked behind wedding stories because it looks like such a nice world, but yeah, oh well.
Wedding Stories is really good if you are doing gameplay and you need wedding dresses.
Yeah, I've seen
Or
that.
like suits.
Yeah.
Or the shoes. Like I particularly use that. I do use like a chunk of the build buy. I really like the table that can hold the centerpiece. Like what I
Oh,
normally
that's
will
nice.
do is I'll take that table, I'll shrink it down, stick it under a table, so then the centerpiece, like when I put it on a table,
Yeah.
can kind of sit
Yeah,
really
yeah,
nicely. So it's not just I
just like
normally will do
hovering.
that
Yeah.
when I'm building. And then Dream Decor Decorator, I would say that is a phenomenal pack. I'm not trying to
Yeah,
sell
okay.
you on it, but it's one of my favorites. I like the customizable furniture. Honestly, I was biased. I'm really biased. It has like a toaster oven, like a real toaster oven.
Oh,
Like
toaster oven, you say?
yeah, there's a toaster
Reconsider?
oven. Okay. I'm just saying for $15 you can have a virtual toaster oven. But like it had a lot of good kitchen stuff. I like the cast. I've never done the career. I'm not a gameplay person. So I
Yeah.
truly don't give a shit about gameplay, but I really like the items. Now I have to ask, what's your favorite expansion pack?
Oh, oh, that's a hard one actually. Yeah, okay. I think my favorite one is Life and Death and
Okay.
Business and Hobbies.
Those are yeah, the two newest
Mm,
ones.
yeah, the two newest ones. I think Life and Death really speaks out to me because I do more fantasy gameplay. I really like the whole vampires, witches, sorcery,
Mhm.
that kind of gameplay. So to finally get an actual gameplay pack where I didn't have to improvise, oh, you have to go and find these tarot cards, you have to open up this spell box and that stuff. To me, that was an instant. I think I actually pre-ordered that. That's how hyped I was.
I I
That's
was
how hyped I was.
I was really excited for Life and Death, and the reason I was so excited is for that one pack. I don't know what EA did, but they need to do that more often. There was no leaks. There was
Yeah,
nothing. Like
yeah, there weren't.
we were excited as fans to see it come to fruition
Yes,
without being like, here's what the town looks like. Oh, if they're gonna announce it on Tuesday. So
yeah,
it was just really cool. Like I was excited. I was like the fact they were able to keep this under wraps. I was like, oh, this pack must be
yeah.
really good. I really like that all of Spectre is back with Nervous Subject.
I like that. I
Um,
like that little family, and I just thought they played quite a phenomenal role in the story that I've got.
yes. So they
Yeah.
originally came from Sims 2.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Oh,
So
that's
that
where they came from. Why do I think it was one?
no, it was Sims 2. Because that was a whole big thing of trying to figure out all of Spectre. Like, she lives in this house with a bunch of graves, and this son, like, all her
Where did the
husbands
sun come from?
mysteriously died, right? So, like, I really like that one. I liked Business and Hobbies. I'm really biased. I personally build businesses when I'm in The Sims. Like, that's all I build. So. this
Oh, that's
pack, I
nice.
really loved that. It just
There's so
kind of
much about
took
it I enjoy.
you can just build any business, right?
Yeah, literally, you can literally just build a room in your house. That's my business.
Yep.
Because that's also what I really wanted as well. And I'm kind of glad it's a pack so that I didn't have to keep using mods for influence. Not that I have anything against using the mods. I love that. Keep doing that, peeps. But sometimes it is nice to actually have it as a, well, not base game, but as a feature in the game itself.
Well,
Even if it's half done, you can always use a mod, hopefully.
of course. Personally, what I was excited to see that a multi-purpose lot being added into the game
Yeah.
was so console players who don't have the ability to have CC are able to now have
Yes.
multi-use slots, right?
Yes.
So
100%.
I was really excited for them. Now, have you built any businesses for this new expansion
I
pack?
personally, I personally use the gallery a lot. I'm not a good builder. I'm not a good builder. And a lot of the time, I like taking inspiration from what other people do. I like to, of course, I like if I'm going to use it for like a video and stuff, I do art first. But I like to show people what other people have used, if that makes sense. So if I see this nice cafe, I'll take it, put it on my in the world, and then I try and do like a couple of scenes or something in the story. And usually I credit it. Like there's one cafe I hope to use from someone. No spoilers, no spoilers. But yeah, I don't really build because it's it's I don't know. I can decorate, but building, miss me with that for now.
Would you ever then consider a shell challenge? So this like it's already built or like an empty building, but you just do all the decorating.
Oh, a shell challenge.
Hmm.
I'll tell you this, one friend does keep me on my toes. He gives me the shell and I make it when I need it. I haven't done it for a while though because I've been on the CC diet. So, but it's a shell challenge. Well, not shell challenges itself, but taking from a shell, I
Hmm.
find it a little harder. But if I plan out what I want each room to actually look like and stuff, then it's easier. So that I can do. It's not perfect and stuff like that because I don't usually stick to theme generally, if that makes sense. But if I have a theme in my head, for example, if it's a kid's room, I try and keep it kid-like. If it's for a musician, I try and put some music decals or a musical bed or something like that. A vampire, it's got to be all dark or it's got to be all purple or something like that. So that I can do,
Okay.
but the actual building of the actual shell, no.
Okay. You're preaching to the choir. I've never done a shell challenge. I've never done one. I just like I build the same build like in everything I do. It's just squares and triangles. Just square. That's how
Square and
I look at it.
triangles. But hey, the square and triangle is what starts everything, right?
Exactly. Now you did say when we started this that you watched a lot of people's Let's Plays. Who were your favorites? Did you watch?
Ooh, Claire Siobhan was my favorite. She was she and this other channel. What was it? I can't remember now. Oh, Make Two. They and Claire Siobhan, they were the main people I used to watch. I think they were the only people I used to watch actually, because everybody there were others, but there were more reviews than anything. But Claire
Okay.
Siobhan's one was my favorite because her gameplay was really chaotic. And I think because of her, one of the tunes from the Get to Work playlist is actually still my favorite from the Sims playlist. And Make Two had more family legacy gameplay, and I thought that was really fun. That was really nice to watch. I was kind of sad when they stopped doing it, and yeah, I knew they had some issues going on, so hopefully they're fine now. And yes, I saw that Claire as well also basically retired for now, so I hope all is well with the people that I used to watch because, oh boy, inspiration is kind of an understatement. It was nice. It was just it was something about watching people's work and then being able to do it yourself, I think.
Mhm. It's just really sometimes it's a lot of ASMR, right? It's just really relaxing. It's
Yeah,
just like watching somebody build and you
yeah,
see it's like a puzzle, right? You've
yes,
seen the final
yeah.
product, but
And
how
then
does
you
it
want to
get there?
see how does it get there? Yeah.
Right?
So
Um, I very good people that you watch Let's Plays, and so but you do find yourself in the storyteller community. Have you considered posting your story on more platforms instead of potentially Patreon and Tumblr?
That's what I'm doing now. I'm trying to put my story onto YouTube.
Okay.
Uh, Instagram doesn't work for me because every time I try and sign up, they just keep suspending my account. So I gave up. Gave
Oh,
up. I gave up. For now, the places I post is Patreon, Tumblr, and Blue Sky.
okay.
Um, I've got a few of my homies following me there as well, and we hang out in a Discord together. I'm sure you've heard of Sarah Simmer.
I have.
We hang out in Yeah, we hang out in her Discord, and I hang out in some of the couple of the Discords that those peeps in Sarah's Discord are. And I post my stories there and like little sneak peeks and stuff like that. So I'm not sure where else to put it. I did consider making my own website, but then I thought, oh boy, that's too much, too much to handle. I mean, I'm already behind on maintaining my Tumblr with my side stories at the moment, so
No, that totally makes sense. I'm so sorry the Instagram it doesn't work. Honestly, the Instagram Sims storyteller community is on fire. It's so good.
yeah.
I used to find myself in that as I was the author of Rose Chronicles and I released 150 chapters in 3 years.
Ooh.
But it's second to none. Like there's so many
Yeah,
phenomenal stories and
and there is one person I like to read. I think it was on Blue Sky. She used to be on Twitter. I'm not sure if she's on Blue Sky now, but she did mention about following her Instagram and stuff. So I tried again, and it didn't work. So oh well, sour grapes, I guess. Sadly.
yes, but you're on so you're on YouTube. So basically you're making a machinima. Is that correct?
Uh, ooh, I call it a machinima without the posing because it's more just slideshows for now because I'm still kind of newish to this, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
Because
no, absolutely.
um I like to chat. As you can see. I like to talk. I've seen I don't usually I kind of like keep to myself sometimes, but once I get the ball rolling, you kind of stop me there. But it's kind of a slideshow, and then I kind of dictate the story.
Okay.
So it's probably boring at first sight, but for how I've seen it, I try to keep it as engaging as possible, like not stay on one slide for too long or yap for too long on one subject and stuff like that. I'm not gonna lie to you, it's not easy writing stories. The amount of retakes sometimes I do, like the current project I'm doing for my video recap. Let's not say how many times I had to retake one section because I kept fumbling the words at the right stopping point.
Oh, I know exactly how you feel. I've done a lot of voice acting work for the Machinimas.
Mm-hmm.
I know exactly when you are in a bit of a monologue and you're like, fuck. Well,
Yeah.
let's take that over again because that's not how you
Yep.
say oranges. Don't know
Yep.
why, I don't know how I said oranges, but sure. No, I
Oh.
completely get you and you get yourself frustrated. That's why I stopped doing
Yeah.
voiceover. I only work exclusively now with OMG Sims.
Yeah.
Just because like I just fumble over my words.
Yeah.
I'm just like a babbling bunch of babbling baboons anytime I talk. I'm like, Stas, what are you trying to say? What are you saying? Or I just read
Yeah.
it so fast that I'm like, no one can
Yep.
fucking understand what I've just said. But I know the struggles. I just released my first ever machinima with OMG Sims back in
Ooh,
November. It took
nice.
a year and a half to make, and it was 16 minutes long. I know
Ooh.
exactly this. I swear to God, I have read that script more times. I will fucking ever. Both me and him at the end, we were like, we could just say every part. Like we just knew
Memorize
it.
it right.
Because like I wrote it, he made it, right? So it's it's definitely it's a labor of love
Yes,
when
it
you're
is.
doing this.
It
It's a
is.
labor of love. But I want to hear about your story. Tell me how you started writing this story and what inspired you to create this story.
So let me start from what inspired me first. Remember I said that I like Marvel and stuff like that.
Mhm.
I like fantasy, so I like anything that's not real life, if that makes sense. So superhumans, supervillains, monsters, not so much. That's kind of boring. But I take a lot of inspiration from the things I watch, the things I read, and stuff like that. This story has been in my head for a very, very, very long time. It started, I think, there was an X-Men character that I didn't really like, and so I thought, what could be better about this guy? And so I think to myself, well, this power could be better, this one could be better over here, and that, and the story kind of started from there.
Mhm.
There was a time I used to live in my own head a little bit too much. That's what the bulk of most of the story happened. So that's why to me when Sims went free, I was like, finally I can let out this story so that doesn't keep junking up my head. Um, what else did I draw? Do I draw inspiration from the story? Films I watch as well. Some of the dramas that I've seen, parts that I like, I incorporate parts I didn't like. I kind of reshape my own liking and then just cook basically. Uh, I have actually have two stories going on. The first
Okay.
one is it's a world of superhumans and humans. It's about basically each life on each spectrum, but things are not as clear cut. So a human would think that they're just a human until they break their think, for example, or a superhuman thinks that they're all that, and then they can't detect that there was somebody behind them. That kind of thing. It's like how the lines blur between the worlds.
Hmm.
And in the stage of the story at the moment, those lines are blurring more often than not because they've just done a very precise ritual to unlock some power. Everybody in the room there unlocks something, but they don't know how severe it is. So that's what the next chapter I'm writing up is for. The second one was actually when the Love Struck pack came out. I actually based that story off one of the dynamics. I think it was it. I can't remember what it was called. Mismatched Friends? No, no, no. That's what I call it. Oops. It was mismatched something. One of the romantic dynamics was that being mismatched.
Okay.
That story is just basically college students. Everything that can go wrong at college. Scandals, cheating on your paper. Think anything to do with any kind of chaos. It's a very chaotic story.
No, that's awesome. It's so creative and so original as well. I love that. So when you're writing your scenes, do you go in with a script already, or is it just whatever the game gives you?
I kind of do a bit of both. Um, for the Mismatched Friends one, that one is more game oriented because
Mhm.
it was done at a time when there was still a lot of bugs in the game, but those bugs were actually giving me some really good storylines. So I thought I will roll with it. For the Supernatural one, that one I do kind of more scripted in gameplay. No, tell a lie. I do half and half actually
Okay.
because I used Ravenwood for a lot of that. So using I think actually it was when I started using the little tarot deck that comes with that expansion pack. I started to do the script and the gameplay equally because I just like when a plan goes together, you know?
No, I totally
Yeah.
get you. I like that. Sometimes the pure chaos of the game comes up with more interesting storylines than you could ever
Yep.
imagine.
Yeah,
And it's all
definitely.
just random. So when you are rating your scene, how do you break it down? Is it like line by line, like if you're like this person was talking, or do you rate a general idea of what you want to do?
I do a general idea first. I try not to write the idea down first because otherwise it feels too rigid. And I tried that once, it didn't work.
Okay.
When I'm playing the game, I just like see where everybody's sitting. I say, okay, this guy's studying this one's studying that. Let's
Mhm.
see where it goes in with the previous chapters, stuff like that. Um, as for how I figure out dialogue and stuff like that, I figure out the general story first, like how the situation came about, and the dialogue just comes from there. Sometimes I think of the dialogue while I'm doing the dishes or something. So yeah, and then I just put the two together, and then a Patreon post is born.
Okay. That's so cool. I definitely. That's so, like again such a really cool idea of like how you put put a scene together.
Yeah. Oh, I
Uh,
should mention as well,
yeah.
I do use music at the
Oh,
back. Yeah, because
yes.
I there's a story, no story, sorry. There's an interactive story game I like to play, and oh my God, their soundtracks are huge. Of course, I don't use the soundtracks in my video because it's not mine.
Yeah. We
But
don't want YouTube copywriting that.
yeah, yeah. But listen to some of those tunes, even if I end up using the same tune again and again at the risk of boring people, but sometimes it really fits with the scene. Like if there's a fight scene, there's
Mhm.
this particular music that I really enjoyed using with it. If it's just a nice sit down and talk over coffee, there's a tune for that. So yeah, that's also a big help as well.
I could not agree more. I have multiple playlists on my Spotify for when I'm writing or if I'm writing a specific
Hmm.
scene of how I would picture the scene going. I am a
Yeah.
huge cinephile, so I imagine
Hmm.
anything like a movie scene. Even down to when I dream at night, I have multiple camera angles in my dreams. Didn't know that wasn't normal until I started talking about it this year. I'll be like, yeah, camera A and camera B. I get
Yeah.
multiple points of view. And they're like, people are like, that's not how dreams work. And I'm like, oh, fuck. Well, okay.
Well,
This doesn't work for me. Um, so music, because music can inspire you. And I really like to listen to instrumental music because to me, that tells a bigger
hey,
story without
same.
words.
I find I prefer game shoot. Sorry, 1 second. Oops. Why I went out of the way. Yeah, I prefer game soundtracks instead of like pop music and stuff like that. I'll
Yeah,
be really, really honest with you. I don't like mainstream music. I
yeah.
find it boring. Dare I say, some of them is really tacky. It's like
Sure.
we've got this for so long. It's for me, it feels washed out. So to hear the game soundtracks and stuff like that, I like copyright free music because personally, I find I find it easier to listen to things that people do for themselves, like in their
Hmm.
free time and stuff like that. I feel that there's more heart behind it
Hmm.
because just like a commercial thing and then that's your hobby. Commercial, you have to churn things out, right?
Yep.
And a hobby, you can do it because you love it and you can perfect your craft. And then if you want to share it, there you go. So I personally see music the same. So yeah, I prefer instrumentals.
I I could not agree more. Anything past 2010, you lose me when it comes to
Yeah,
new music.
literally.
I
Yep.
just gave up. If it's not my 10 favorite albums, I'm not listening to it.
Yeah.
But like my most top listened to song is Lost Shot. No, sorry, Last Shot. No. One of I think it's yeah, Last Shot from Pirates of the Caribbean, the first soundtrack from Hans Zimmer. Like I listen to that every day.
Oh, that's right. Hans Zimmer does some really nice OSTs for
Just
like the soundtrack to the films and stuff like that. One of
I'm
my favorite composers, actually.
yeah, he's like honestly one of my favorite. I'm so excited. I'm going to my first ever composer concert in 2 weeks. I
Ooh,
am seeing
nice,
Max Richard. If
nice.
anyone who doesn't know, if anyone sort of like, who is this? He's really famous for The Blue Notebook and Dreams. So if you're ever listening to, if you're like, if you put into Spotify and you're like music to help you fall asleep, you're listening to Dreams most likely. And like he
Hmm.
composes music to like help you fall asleep. Like you can
Ah,
legit do a concert where you go to sleep and you listen to his music and it keeps you relaxed. That's not what we're doing. We're seeing the Blue Notebook 20-year anniversary and Life and Studies, which is his newest album, but it's just so beautiful. It's just
yeah,
you can take that music and interpret it into anything that
yes, yeah,
anything of what the story you're trying to tell, right?
yes,
So I could listen to a song, you could listen to a song, and we could see a different vision of the
yes,
song. But
very
that's
true.
just the beauty of instrumental. It's up to us
Exactly.
to tell the story.
Yep.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's another I guess base point I use for my writing. And sometimes it's easier to put the post together when I'm actually got it in the background.
Absolutely. Well, I got a couple more questions for you, and then we're gonna wrap up. So
Yeah.
you say that you're a huge Marvel fan. I'm a huge DC fan. So we're gonna go tit for tat. I will say some of the Marvel movies have been good. um,
Yeah.
in the last 10 years. But what is your favorite Marvel superhero?
Ooh, that's a hard one. You're asking me to pick favorite.
I know, I'm putting you on the spot.
Okay. Hmm. Okay, I'm gonna be extremely honest.
Mhm.
Hawkeye. He's just a human who has good bows, you know? He's just a human.
I don't think that's anybody's answer, but I like that. I love that Hawkeye
Yeah.
is your favorite. I mean, Jeremy Renner, I think, did a good job. Um,
I think he played that role antiquely well, and I mean antiquely well because it's like what do I know of Wood? Not much, but when it's fake wood doesn't feel the same as real wood. To me, that's
mhm.
how Jeremy Renner felt when he played Hawkeye. It's like literally he was meant for that role, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. I don't honestly know too much about Hawkeye, but you must have loved the show.
I love the show, and actual fact, I feel like the most recent shows from Marvel, I haven't liked them enough to not even watch. But I don't feel that they came up to, God, sorry. Yeah, I don't feel like they came up to the caliber of the Hawkeye show because I don't usually like Christmas shows. I hate those. I'll be honest with you, I hate them.
Mhm.
But Hawkeye's one was different. It wasn't just about being home for Christmas. It was about fighting his way home for Christmas. It
It,
was different.
exactly. My
Yeah.
favorite Marvel anything would be Daredevil. The fact that Daredevil Born Again is on Disney right now, I'm
Yeah.
so happy. As I find myself a DC girl, I lean towards Batman because he's just so
Okay,
cool.
you and me are the same there.
Yeah, like I'm a Batman stand through and through. I fucking hate Superman. Superman is a cop
Oh,
out
yep,
to all
same there.
superheroes. Even though I'm a DC girl and I understand he's important to the story, but there's like literally he'll be like, we can't. There'll be a villain like we can't defeat him, and then Superman just comes in, and uses his powers, ah, he's done, right? So
Yeah.
like he's
Ugh.
right.
Yeah.
So I'm just like okay, but like I like someone who can get their hands dirty.
Yeah.
I'm really excited
100%.
for Matt Reeves to come back with Robert Pattinson's Batman. I thought he did a really good job bringing Year One and Long Halloween to life.
Mm-hmm.
And I really liked the Penguin show as well. I mean, it was very boring. It was going for tit for tat for Game of Thrones. How much dialogue can you have in a room before you fall asleep? But it was just the like he just played a really good character. I just thought he did such a great job. Um,
Yeah.
but like that's the kind
Sometimes a character can change a show.
absolutely, and that's I think why I like the more superheroes that are not like you like why Hawkeye. He's not an actual like super being. He's not an alien.
Yeah.
He doesn't have powers. In Batman's
He
case, he
just
just
works
has a
out.
boatload of money. But like for example, Daredevil, he's a lawyer.
Yeah,
He's a
exactly.
blind lawyer. So
Mm-hmm.
I love that. I just love every scene, all the fight scenes. I'm like, this is what I want. Kingpin, my favorite villain, Chef's
I like
Kiss.
Kingpin.
I love
I like
Kingpin.
Kingpin.
I I do like the animated Spider-Man films as well that have just come out. I mean, obviously, I'm a Tobey Maguire girl because like that was like the first superhero movie I'd ever seen was Spider-Man in theaters. I was 7 when it first came out. So like,
That might have been mine as well, actually, because I do remember Spider-Man saying, "Where are the webs coming from?" Because, of course, as a kid, you don't know about special effects.
yeah, you're like, where are they? But I would say if like out of all of my fandom, like I'm a Harry Potter girl through and through.
I,
I was
I never really
9 when the
considered that.
first movie I was 9 when the first movie came out. So like I was prime Harry Potter age. Like I was
Yeah.
waiting for my letter when I was 11. I thought so I was quite disappointed when I didn't get my letter. It's fine. I guess I'm just a
Fine.
muggle.
Someday. Someday.
Um,
Funny, funny you say that because now you remind me of when I used to watch X-Men when I was a kid. I
mhm.
used to take my pens and put them between my hands to try and copy Wolverine and say, wait, why is it going back?
Oh my goodness. That's cool. That is so cool. Do you have anything that you want to sh any final thoughts you want to share? Anything cool that you're working on?
At the moment, I'm trying to find some kind of inspirational to make another set of tattoos. I have
Okay.
someone that needs updating for the current expansion pack because I can't remove them otherwise. So they're all in the tattoo slot.
Hmm.
And so when I started doing tattoos, I started to put them in the scars because there was there's some CC for eyes that I like, but they were all in a tattoo slot, so they would all conflict. That's no
Hmm.
longer the case now, so I want to fix those and stuff like that.
No,
So hopefully I'll get that done. I'm
that's all.
trying to work on the mod to give vampires the bladder need because why the hell do they have toilets but they can't use it?
Oh,
I'm trying to
that's
work on
so.
that.
I
I'm
love
trying to
that.
work on that as well. And I'm also still doing the recap of my supernatural story. So hopefully that should be up soon, maybe hopefully by next week because I still need to proofread it and stuff like that.
There you go.
And as for final thoughts, I think for peeps who do gameplay and story and stuff like that, I know some people don't usually want the hype around people reading their stuff and stuff like that, but if you do want someone to notice you, don't be afraid to put it out there, even if it looks janky as well. Hell, even if it looks like a 3-year-old scribbled on a paper or something like that, put it out there. Someone started somewhere. I mean, I had to look at my screenshots the other day. I had to laugh that I usually had all the walls down. As if, as if you're looking at a wall plan instead of a scene. So start somewhere. Just put it out there. And even if you only get one person reading, that's enough. Just keep that one person if you want. Even if they get bored, somebody else is going to come along. No one's going to know you if you don't try.
I think that is such fantastic advice. Always just try, put yourself out there. It's really
Yep,
scary to press submit the first time, but the more
yep,
you do it, it's less scary.
that's true.
Well, Laura, thank you so much for coming here today. Where can we
And
find
thank you for
you?
having me as well. Say
Of
again.
course. Where can we find
Uh,
you? What's your social name on all the platforms?
what was my blue sky name? I forgot. Give me a moment, please.
Yes, of course.
Where is it? Here it is. Hold on. I keep confusing my blue sky name with my old Twitter name. Ah, there it is. So if you want to find me on Blue Sky, it's Psylocke XS, as in PSYLOCKE XS, all lowercase. If you want to find me on Patreon, you can find me. Actually, I've linked it in my Blue Skies bio.
Mhm.
I think it was Lara Red as my Patreon. Oh no, Psylocke as well. I use Psylocke more because it's cooler. You can also find me on YouTube as Lara Red. There's not much in the way of sins there, and you can find videos of failed gameplay of another game. I had to leave that game because it just started to go downhill. But hey, that's just gone. But yeah, you can find me there. And you can find me on Tumblr under Sound of Excess as well. And if you know Sarah Simmer, you can join her Discord as well because I'm very active there. So yeah,
Fan-
that's me.
Fantastic. Well, the links are going to be below. Please go for Laura. Laura, it has been an absolute pleasure getting to know you today. Thank you for coming here and
Yeah.
sharing your
And
wisdom
thank
of
you
how.
for hosting as well. This is nice.
Yes, of course. Well, everybody, thank you so much for coming here today. I got nothing else I want to plug besides if you like this podcast series, please consider subscribing so you never miss an episode. I keep I'll sound like a broken record by the end of the season. This is the final season. So if you want to be part of the final roundtable podcast, it's going to be filmed in August. So please let me know. For everybody listening, have a great rest of your day and we'll all chat very soon. Bye, everybody.
Bye bye, everyone.